Major victory today on the Supreme Court. You're doing wonderful work, by the way, May, helping this agenda every day. So congratulations on that. And also congratulations on this major decision from the Supreme Court. Tell us all about it, May.
Yeah, this is a huge day. You know, you are optimistic, but even I wasn't this optimistic. This is amazing. So for years, President Trump has been essentially told what to do by random unelected district court judges. More than half of all nationwide injunctions that have ever taken place are against President Trump. Everything from judges telling him he needs to put transgender people in the military, how he needs to run his immigration, everything from the wall to who's deported, top to bottom, nationwide injunctions. And it was not the same when Trump was out of office, and conservative judges often restrained themselves. So the Title IX case, which many people will remember, the conservative states sued and did pause Biden's illegal Title IX rewrite in those states, but not nationwide until, of course, we came in and said, we're not doing that anymore. So this is a really huge day.
May, just go deeper into this for our audience. This means that if there is an injunction, it will only pertain to the district that the injunction was authored in. Is this the end of all nationwide injunctions?
Oh, of course, the left is going to try and weasel around this. So this case particularly pertained to birthright citizenship. Obviously, on day one, President Trump said illegal aliens, their children don't automatically become citizens. It set up a little system in order to do that. And a lot of people sued. So 3 different courts said, we're not just going to say that this law is illegal as pertains to who is in front of us. We're going to say that this executive order is illegal everywhere, for everyone, for all time. And so the Supreme Court said, no, you're not going to do that. Now, there are still some open questions. So, for example, if a group of 10 states sue, can you enjoin the executive order in those 10 states and for anybody who passes through that state? You know, there are ways to make this broad. Then there's the class action approach. So, of course, the left is going to keep trying to push this, However, yes, it is true that today, nationwide injunctions that are just sweeping, we don't like you, Trump, so we're going to stop you from doing what you would like to do because I'm a district court judge and I'm bored. That practice is over.
And the profundity and the significance of this is that this was all happening in like 5 different jurisdictions. And the original intent of the Constitution was never to have a singular district court judge be able to sweep the entire nation repeatedly. And so what other than executive orders does this potentially free up that are now enjoined?
Yeah, so this is going to have a huge impact. Let's just take, for example, some of our policies that have said we're not going to spend money on hospitals, transgender procedures for minors. That gets enjoined. We've also said we're not. That's a big one. We've also said, for example, that we're not going to fund transgender procedures in prison. So these sorts of things, these cultural issues, I think are going to move forward. Now, the Supreme Court has done a pretty good job of whacking these district court judges when they get too far. So, for example, we had judges say that you can't deport people to third countries, and the Supreme Court said, no, you can. But it has been a repeated going up to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court basically says, this is not how it's supposed to be. There's not supposed to be an emergency every single time that affects the entire nation. Parties need to individually sue, and then they can get relief for those parties. And some people will win and some people will lose, and that'll percolate up to the Supreme Court, and they'll be able to look and see what are the different reasonings that we have, how is the law being interpreted, what do we need to fix. So this is really good for process for the American people. This is good for the Supreme Court, for people to trust the opinions that are coming out of there because they will be more thoughtful. They'll have more information. This is a net positive for everybody. And of course, the dissent does not see it that way.